Okay, we're going to call the town meeting to order. Start with a pledge of allegiance. Thank you for coming. I didn't expect a large turnout. The selectmen don't like to have town meetings for one question unless there's time constraints and we have to do it. I would prefer to have 4 or 5 questions on a town meeting. So I got you out here for one question and I gave you a nice warm room to sit in. And so if you are cold, you should be all set. Another note on, I know you've seen, since you're here, I'll tell you, you've seen articles about a particular possible sports dome complex that's being proposed for down near Foxwoods, which is the old Fox Trails Inn. Those developers are going to be doing a public hearing on Thursday at 12 o'clock. If you're interested, you're more than welcome. It's open to the public. I have representatives coming from 8 different municipalities besides North Stonington. It's not costing the town a penny. If anything, what it could do is actually give us additional tax revenue and give us something in town that would be well received for the most part. But they're coming at 12, from 12 to 1:30, and they are providing lunch at 11:45 if you want to come. The room will be cooler by that day because Alan promised me we'll get this room cooled down by Thursday. Other than that, now we have to elect a moderator for tonight's town meeting. Do I hear any nominations for moderator? Judy Main nominates John Gassion. Do I hear a second? Okay, second by Brett Mastriani. Do I hear any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close nominations. Ian Norwalk, motion, second by Charlie Smith. All those in favor of closing nominations say aye. Aye. Okay, so we have one nominee, John Gassion. All those in favor of John Gassion moderating the town meeting say aye. Aye. Perfect. John, it's your show. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to read the ground rules for the town meeting. 1, all town residents wishing to speak shall raise their hand to be recognized. I will call speakers one at a time to the microphone. Before you comment, please state your name and your street. Number 2, comments must be on topic, addressed solely to the question on the agenda. Number 3, individuals may have a second opportunity to speak only after everyone wishing to speak has been recognized. Number 4, each speaker will be limited to 2 minutes and cannot yield their time to another. 5, on questions of protocol, voters may respectfully ask point of order on procedure. 6, voter eligibility is summarized as follows. All registered voters of North Stonington and all persons owning at least $1,000 of taxable property on the grand list are eligible to vote on the budget. On the question, any persons not legally qualified who fraudulently vote in any town meeting or votes more than once shall be fined not less than $300 or more than $500, and shall be imprisoned not less than 1 year or more than 2 years, and shall be disenfranchised. Voting by assuming the name of another shall be guilty of a Class D felony, Section 9-360. 7, following the discussion, I will move the question to a vote. 8, a voice vote will be called indicating yay or nay. Should I determine the voice vote was inconclusive, I will ask for a show of hands. Hearing no objections to these rules of the town meeting, I will now ask the town clerk to read the call.
Warning is hereby given to the electors and those entitled to vote at town meetings of the town of North Stonington that a special town meeting shall be held at the following location on the date and time indicated for the purposes of transacting the business set forth below. Location: North Stonington Education Center Media Center, 298 Norwich Westerly Road, and via Zoom. Zoom link is given in the call of the meeting. Meeting ID 869-7620-0694, passcode 691547. Date June 23rd, 2025, time 6:30 p.m. Only those attending the meeting in person will be able to vote. The meeting will be available for comment and viewing through Zoom at the link given in the call, but those attending virtually will not be able to vote. All supporting documentation will be available on the town website, www.northstoningtonct.gov. Question number 1. Shall the town of North Stonington approve an appropriation of funds from the undesignated fund in an amount not to exceed $130,000 for the purchase of a new excavator to assist in future town road work?
Before calling upon residents to speak, I will ask First Selectman Bob Carlson to speak on the appropriation.
Okay, and if there's any particular questions that I can't answer, Alan Ladd, our foreman, is still here, so he'll be able to jump in. But so the main questions I think are probably going to be, why do we need one? Why wasn't it in the budget, and why are we doing this now? As I said before, we don't particularly like to have one question town meetings, but sometimes time is of the essence. So why do we need one? Well, if you know anything about what we've been doing in the last couple of years with all the weather changes and the heavy rainstorms and the flooding on roads, current foreman Alan Ladd has been putting in a lot of piping. So we're doing a lot of digging, a lot more than we have in the past. We're trying to upgrade a lot of our pipes, culverts, and water and basins so we can capture this water before it goes across your yard. Also, the one we have now, the Volvo, which is the one that's up at the transfer station, that's the older one. We no longer need that at the transfer station. We're going to sell that after the fair. We've always let the fair use it in the past. Possibly maybe the fair will consider purchasing it, so they'll have it for the future. It's not going to go for a heck of a lot of money, but it's too big a machine to use on our roads. It blocks traffic and it's too bulky. So what we actually want to do is purchase a medium size. So not like the small Kubota you see in people's backyards. It's a medium size excavator that we can use on roads, and we're doing a lot of digging. Right now, we're doing a lot of work across the street at Meadowwood, trying to find where water goes instead of piling it up in those houses on Meadowwood Drive. Where's it going to go, and why is it not going there? Another reason why it's costing us $20,000 to $25,000 a year to rent a excavator. It's because it costs $20,000 to $25,000 a year, and this excavator is going to cost us around $125,000. In 4 to 5 years, it'll be paying for itself. And the other reason why we want to buy this one, so we have it, because by renting it, we never know what the condition is of the vehicle we're getting or the piece of machinery we're getting. So this way, we can verify, because we own it, we can verify it, and we can maintain the condition of the machine. So now, why now? Well, now is when we do most of the renting of this machine. We've rented heavy in May, June, July, and August, because that's when it's time to be doing this kind of work. We can't do it in the winter. And you say, well, why not? Why wasn't it in the budget a month ago? The reason why it wasn't in the budget, a couple of reasons. One is that if I put in by doing it now this way with money we're receiving from the auctions we did with old materials, old equipment we had, we bring in just about $104,000, I believe, in auction off all old machinery that we use towards the purchase of this. So there's about a $20,000 difference between what we are appropriating and what the machine will actually cost. We can appropriate those funds from money we just brought in from this recent auction. Also, we're not using new taxpayer dollars. If this is in the budget, then, and we approve the budget, those are new taxpayer dollars coming in. That why would we want to tax taxpayers with new dollars? We already have these dollars at our disposal. And third, if I added $125,000 additional dollars to this year's budget, it would have been tougher for the Board of Finance to balance the budget. And for the 4th year in a row, we have not had a tax increase, and it would have been tougher to do that if I added $125,000 to the current budget. So it's cleaner to do it this way. We're not asking the taxpayers for any additional funds. We have the money. Most of it was brought in by a recent auction. And it makes it easier for us to keep the mill rate where it was. That's all I have on why we're doing it, why now, why we're getting it, and why not in the budget. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to entertain them.
I'll now open the floor for residents to speak.
John Olson, Wyosip Road. I understood everything you said, just for the purpose of those who are not attending the meeting. We obviously have very small attendance tonight. And for those who are going to see the paperwork that talks about the money being used from the undesignated fund, I just want to make a point of clarification. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are new funds that are being added to the undesignated fund, which will then be used for this purchase of equipment. For those who are still interested in the discussion about the excess in the undesignated fund, that discussion is still later on. The funds being voted on tonight have nothing to do with that excess that already exists. Just want to point that out for clarification.
You are correct, John. So when the budget was being worked on, excuse me, when the budget was being worked on, the undesignated fund was at a level without these funds being added to it. These funds from the recent auction just got added within the last 30 days. When the Board of Finance was talking about how to handle the overage in the undesignated fund and would they want to pay off debt, this money was not included in that number. So yes, you are correct that the money that was in the undesignated fund is not going to pay for this excavator.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that so it was on the recording so those who weren't here tonight can hear that for themselves.
Understood. Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments?
Hearing no other questions or comments from the public, I will ask for a motion to approve the appropriation not to exceed $130,000 for the purchase of a new excavator to assist in future town work. By asking for yeas and nays. All in favor? Stephanie Mastriani made the motion. Judy Mayne second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you. So I guess, which may be recorded as one of the shortest town meetings in the history of North Stonington, we could entertain a motion for
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Judy Mayne, second by Charlie Smith.
all those in favor? Aye. Okay, the next town meeting, which will be more on it, will be sometime in the fall. It'll be cooler. There'll be more questions and we'll probably have a little bit bigger crowd, but thank you for coming this evening.